Damn, that hits. This has got to be the most underrated, sickest mix. I love it. How you doing today? I'm Joel Wanasek. I'm a pro mixer and co-founder of nailthemix.com, the coolest place in the entire world to learn how to mix rock and metal music. Make sure you check that out. Today, I'm going to break down and react to All in the Suit That You Wear by Stone Temple Pilots. We're going to take a look at this mix. We're going to break it down. This is mixed by the one and only Chris Lord-Alge. Let's have a listen to this song.
Hey, you.
Holy, that bass makes me want to curse. It's so good.
Someone said you were lost out there in the grill.
Wow. Okay. There's a lot to break down. First off, don't you just love these songs that are really, really badass that the band just like never did a music video for, even though it was like a huge radio single when it came out? Gotta love it. All right. So let's take a listen to this bass here. Let's listen to this.
Trying to strangle us all.
That bass is like a massive orb of destruction. It is so tight. It is so fat. And it's almost like the top of the guitar is it almost sounds like it's just all bass. Like it's a distortion part of the bass, even though it's a guitar. It's crazy how well those frequencies are locked. Listen to the top of the guitars and the bass.
All down here. In the meantime.
Like I said, it's locked so good. It's literally almost like it's just one giant toad. It's massive. So, I mean, the first of this mix that stands out is the bass is just super colossal. It's huge. It is the loudest, strongest thing in this entire mix.
Are you ever gonna set us free?
Now, it's interesting if you listen to the drum interaction versus the bass and guitars, it's kind of mind-blowing how it's balanced. Listen to this.
Hey, you. Will we ever get out of here?
Like the drums, you feel them more than you actually hear them. Like it's like if you have to take the balances, the bass and the guitar and the vocal are up here and the drums are kind of back. And that's like a really bold mixing decision. Usually in a lot of rock songs, you have drums up front and then you might have like really loud bass and guitars and stuff. And usually the drums are a lot more up front, but here they're very felt and not so much heard. I mean, you can hear them, but you know what I mean? Like you feel them more than they're like drums, you know? It's crazy awesome mixing. Love that guitar that pops in right there, super loud to get your attention on that little bridge.
Are you ever gonna surrender?
It's louder than the vocal. It's awesome. Like how often do you hear a guitar that's louder than the vocal? Just pan left, loud and proud, jumping out of the speakers, comes up louder than the vocal. It's just like, here I am, pay attention to me, guitar. I mean, what a great move in rock. That's a power move right there. I love it. Yeah, the kick is cool. It's like really thuddy and it doesn't really have a ton of attack or a ton of bottom end on it. You know, the bass definitely kind of rolls down below the kick drum and it kind of just molds right into the bass. The bass is just like this massive engulfing spear of doom. And then there's like the kick drum in there that's just like a little ball of doom in the big sphere of doom. What an analogy. But I mean, come on, like you can't tell me that I'm wrong. Okay, the snare is definitely a little bit louder than the kick drum. What I like about the kick and snare mixing on this is like, normally you'd get pretty bright on a rock mix and these aren't that bright. Like I said, just like the kick is kind of like this little ball of doom and this massive orb of destruction, you know, the snare is just like this nice, super, not really hyped, just pongy snare that's just sitting there. And it's kind of just in the mix. It just holds the groove down and lets that guitar energy and bass energy just throttle the speakers.
It's in the suit that you wear.
It's in the attack on that bass. It really opens up that.
When you're hiding from someone. All in the suit that you wear.
Cymbals are a little pinchy like in the 2K area. And I think it works because you got to put them somewhere, right? So listen to the vocal. Vocals are super bright. They have a lot of like that 5 to 8 to 10K range. You know, they're up there. And if you had the cymbals really bright in that area, they would kind of be in the way. So instead, it sounds like the cymbals, they kind of accentuated those frequencies a little bit lower to kind of get them out of the way of the vocal range. And I mean, again, it works, obviously. This mix destroys. It's such a heavy hitter. This mix just does damage, and I love it. All right, another really bold move here on the right side. Listen to this crazy like guitar string noise thing where they're like, bing, bing. I mean, that is such a bold move. It's like you're in the verse and it's like, you know, while the listener is normally just paying attention to the vocal, let's just put this really loud guitar on the right side to get their attention because we can. It's so bold. I love it. It's really, really cool mixing. It's just like such a randomly awesome balance decision. I wouldn't normally think to go for something like that, but I just love it. It just totally adds attention to the second verse that isn't in the first verse, that graduates it and makes it more exciting. Vocals, pay attention to those. You cut your feet when you're standing there. There's actually a lot of bottom end in Scott Weiland's voice. He's mixed very bright and he's got a lot of, like I said, like the 5 to 8K treble in there. But there's also a good amount of bottom end, you know, like 200 hertz. It's down there. It's rich on those low notes. And I think it really accentuates his voice. Listen to this. It's a really good EQ. You keep walking the razor. Oh, that low end is awesome. On the edge. It just really feels good in the bottom end. I love how that's mixed. A lot of times I feel like we tend, at least in modern mixes, to kind of filter some of that stuff out. Not in this mix. It's really, really deep and it's badass. And I think it's perfect for his voice. And it just really gives it that gritty, like, weight. You cut your feet when you're standing there. So much attitude. In the meantime. You know what I love about this mix? It's just dirty. Like, it is a dirty, mean, badass rock mix. You know, it's not like the most drum forward mix, but it literally just rips your face out of this, you know, comes out of the speakers, just grabs your face off. It's like, it hits. It's good. Nice harmony in there that's subtly layered. Listen to that. That's a good balance. It's very subtle, but just enough. And then they got that like crazy lead guitar thing with that verb on it. And that's kind of cool because it's very in like the 2 to 3K range, you know, it's like very attention grabbing also. It's like you go from that ping, ping, ping thing on the right side. Now you're bringing that like droning guitar. I mean, this mix is just filthy in all the good ways. You know, we talk about like metal mixes that are filthy, you know, in like a good way, like, oh, this mix is like just filth. It's great. This is like the filthiest rock mix. It's so badass. I mean, I gotta say, honestly, this, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated rock mixes that should get a lot of attention that doesn't. This mix freaking crushes. Hi-hats are pretty loud. I like that. That kind of drives that verse. Yeah, cymbals are way louder than the shells on this mix, which is cool. It's, again, not something you hear, especially now in a lot of modern mixes. Love the guitar, same kind of thing, super loud on the left. Doubled vocals up the center. And listen to how gritty those vocals get. Okay, what's interesting, and you'll hear it on the right side, there is a similar part to the verse. There's like that pick do-do-dee-do-dee-doo-doo kind of thing. There is a ton of 2 to 3K in that guitar. And it's like, just like in the cymbals, it's really aggressive in the mid range and it really soaks up. Listen to how like pointed that is. And it's interesting because on the left side, you have a different sounding guitar that's like a slightly different distortion and it's super loud. And it's like, instead of having that guitar doubled, what they do is they put that lead guitar there and they kind of put it in that frequency range to just really make the chorus drive all that extra energy. Because the extra energy isn't really coming from the drums. It's coming from extra, little bit of a push on the bass, it sounds like, in terms of volume. And those guitars coming up, and the vocals. And that's like really what makes the chorus pop. And that's a very interesting thing because it's right in the frequency range that's really gonna grab you. I remember being like at the gym when I was younger and when this song came out, this mix always crushed over the PA system. Like it sounded really big and really mean. Very attention grabbing mix. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna leave it right there. Again, this mix I think is one of the coolest rock mixes I've heard in a long time. Very early 2000s. It sounds just mean. It has this urgent forward filthiness to it. It's just a dirty, mean, badass mix. So underrated. More people should be talking about and listening to this mix. Let me know what you think of this mix in the comments below, and let me know if there's any songs you want me to break down. Make sure you check out my Instagram and TikTok. I'm dropping all kinds of cool mixing content. It's just at Joel Wanasek, very easy to find. Please click like and subscribe if you enjoy this, and thank you so much for watching.